Boys, UFC 312, Dricus du Plessis versus Strickland. The rematch takes place this Saturday, and just like we do for every UFC card, we're going to be going through every single fight on this pay-per-view, giving you guys my rare predictions on who's going to win. And to be honest, we've been doing decent. Last fight card, Israel Adesanya versus Micallef, we did pretty well. I think we did 8-3. Our record right now is 24-13, so we're doing okay. Nothing groundbreaking by any chance, but we're doing okay. With that being said, let's start off with these early prelims. Flyweight division, Youngsung Park taking on, I'm not even going to try to say this dude's name, Nyamjargal Tumendemberel. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that one. We'll call this dude Nime right now, but Park, Park is a good grappler. He has good pressure, a good pressure forward style. And, he does try to find openings so that he can get the fight to the ground because he does have some nice ground and pound work. He has some dangerous submission threats there, but he can be at times overly patient and, let the fight get away from him. But on the feet, his striking isn't the greatest, but it's not that bad either. But the one thing that, isn't the greatest thing about his game is his takedowns aren't that great. But mix it all together, his grappling, his forward pressure style, his okay striking, he can sometimes get takedowns. And then when it does get to the ground, that's where it gets dangerous. But Naim, on the other hand, he is a very powerful striker who he has such a weird stance. This dude has a very wide base, and he loves to use his jab by stepping in. It's like a power jab. He's willing to have like a dirty boxing fight as well. He likes to be in the pocket. He likes to be up close. He'll also fight at a distance, but this dude can fight anywhere. He doesn't have the greatest striking defense in the world, but that being said, I do think his standing base is just going to be way too easy for Sung Young Park to get a takedown. Even though his takedowns aren't the greatest, having such a wide stance, I think Park is going to be able to easily get like a blast double, something like that on such a wide base. I do think Park is going to be fairly dominant in this fight. I'm going to go 30-27 decision win for Park. Let's go down to the lightweight division now. Lightweight, we got Quillan Salkilld taking on Anshul Jubli. Now Quillan he's a very well-rounded fighter with some good clean striking. This dude has some pretty nice, diverse sets of strikes. He'll mix in some takes here and there. He manages distance very, very well. And he doesn't just headhunt. This is like some things that a lot of these strikers do is they just headhunt. Where Quillan, he is very good at mixing in the body, the legs, the head. He's not just constantly headshot. He's moving in with the body. He's getting those leg kicks in. He also has some good grappling with him as well. And he mixes in takedowns pretty good as well. But sometimes this dude, he chases submission over position a lot, which can get him in trouble, can get him to lose position. But he's also a very aggressive fighter who's always on the front foot. Where Jubli, he's also a very well-rounded fighter. He has good striking, good grappling. He has some good explosive takedowns, and again, he's well-rounded. He's not amazing in like any particular position, but he's well-rounded. He's okay everywhere, not great in one place. He has some good fight IQ, good cardio, but sometimes some people have the dog in them. Jubli is not one of them. Sometimes he'll give up on himself, and I just think Quillan's pressure is going to be way too much for Jubli, to be honest. And like I said, some people got the dog or they don't got the dog. I think the lack of dog in Jubli is going to show this fight. I think we might see something like a Herbert Burns situation where he just quits. I think Quillan's pressure, his aggressiveness is going to be way too much. And I think we're going to see Jubli wilt under pressure. I'm going to go late first round KO for Quillan. Let's go down welterweight division. Jonathan Micallef taking on Kevin Jousset. Jonathan I believe he's making his debut. Yeah, he's making his UFC debut. And, he's an okay striker with some good wrestling. He's good at controlling the pace, and he's pretty decent at getting the fight to the ground. And, his striking is not that great, but it's some pretty textbook, basic level stuff. And to be honest, this dude, it's like some people have very high, I guess, finishing ability, finishing IQ. Jonathan he's not that dangerous. He's very rare for this dude to get a finish against a high-level opponent like Kevin Jousset. Kevin Jousset, a veteran in the UFC at this point, has a forward pressure style. He keeps his hands low, which is a little concerning. And he also has a pretty low volume to him with the strikes, which is also a little concerning. And, he can also be a little bit overly patient at times, which, again, a little concerning. He's pretty strong for the division, I would say, in welterweight. He has some high-level judo skills, and his takedown defense is pretty decent as well. And like I said, this guy's a UFC vet. I think, personally, that's what's going to win the fight. I think Jonathan's going to win the first round. And then, again, UFC vet, I think the IQ, the fight IQ, the UFC experience is all going to come to play. 29-28 decision win. Kevin Jousset getting round 2 and 3. I could see this being the most boring fight of the card. I could 100% see that. But I think like I said, the fight IQ and the UFC experience is what's going to win Kevin Jousset this fight. Let's go down lightweight division. Rong Zhu taking on Cody Steele. Now, Rong he's a good striker he's really good. If I had to sum up the best thing he has about his striking, this dude can pick his shots very, very well. He has not only that, his shot selection, amazing. He has some very good power with him as well. That being said, he does struggle a lot on the back foot where, if you get him backing up, he's almost like a sitting duck. He also overreacts a lot when you start giving him feints here and there on the back foot. He's fairly well-rounded. He isn't afraid to mix in some takedowns. But Cody Steele, on the other hand, Cody Steele he's a good grappler with big, powerful takedowns. He has some chain wrestling. He has very good pressure as well. And he's really good with scrambles on the ground. Some of the scrambles that Cody does is some of the best in lightweight. I'm not gonna lie. His striking though isn't anything great, but he has a good, textbook level fundamentals, I guess, and a good balance between the distance. He's good at distance management, and to be honest, I think there's two possible outcomes. I'm gonna go with 29-28 decision. Maybe Rong steals one of the rounds by knocking down Cody, but other than that, I think Cody's gonna have the dominant showing. I could see Cody getting dropped because Zhu is very dangerous, or like I said, I could see Zhu getting a second round KO. I'm leaning more towards Cody 29-28 decision, but don't get me wrong, Zhu could 100% knock out Cody Steele. And again, I'm going decision win, Cody Steele. Don't be surprised if this dude gets knocked out either. It's a very close fight. With that being said, let's get into the normal prelims. This is a crazy fight right here. We have Colby is this dude's name Colby Thicknesse or Colby Thicknesse? I'm calling this dude Colby Thicknesse from now on. But we got Colby Thicknesse taking on Alessandro Topuria, Big Bro Topuria. Ilya Topuria's older brother, but Colby, he's mostly a grappler. Also, this dude is a training partner of Volkanovski, so we're gonna see Volk and Ilya Topuria in the corner. So we'd love to see that. But Colby he's mostly a grappler. He does use some striking here and there, but he just uses that to get the distance so he can get like a clinch, get it to the ground pretty much. He doesn't have the best striking nor the best striking defense in the world, but he does have some good power in his strike. But again, this is also a short notice. I think it's like a week notice fight for Colby. Topuria, on the other hand, he's much like Ilya. He has a very high level wrestling background. He's practically been wrestling since he was a child. He has very powerful striking. He's good pressure. I think, mark my words, put this on the damn parlay, put all the money on it because this shit's 100% happening. Round 2 KO. I know Colby is going to overshoot one of his shots, much like Jamal Hill, and get countered beautifully, knocking him out in the second round. Put that shit in the playbook. It's 100% happening. Put that on the parlay. Put the house on that because that's happening. Round 2 KO. Women's flyweight division, we got Wong Kang taking on Bruna Brazil. Now, Wong, she is a professional kickboxer who did get fraud checked in her last fight. Let's not pretend like that shit didn't happen. she got dropped, then she got submitted. And in my opinion, it's because she didn't take her opponent seriously. She wasn't locked in. If she was locked in, she has some next level striking, some good ass power, good speed, good takedown defense. Bruna Brazil, on the other hand, is a solid striker. She's good there. She has good power, she mixes it up in the striking, head, body, leg. She doesn't just head hunt. She uses her kicks as well. She likes to likes to move forward a lot, but she isn't the greatest at her takedowns, to be honest. The takedown part of her game is probably her weakest. She does have good takedown defense, though, but again, her takedowns aren't the best. Even her striking defense isn't that great either, to be honest. And if Wang Kong is locked in, round 1 KO. If she's not locked in, Bruna Brazil, round... it might even just be decision, 29-28 decision, but I think she's going to be locked in this fight. I think she's going to learn a lot from her last loss. I'm going round 1 KO Wang Kong. Let's go down lightweight division. Tom Nolan versus the boy Shlavikov. We got Borshchev here. Now, Tom Nolan is a very lanky fighter who has some very accurate and technical strikes. He's very good in that aspect, but sometimes this dude can go Cody Garbrandt crazy. I'm not going to lie, but unlike Cody, Tom has a good chin, so he's allowed to do that sometimes. He has good pressure, good volume. He has some powerful striking, and he has some good defense as well. His takedown or his striking, not the greatest, but he's overall pretty well rounded. We have Borshchev here. Borshchev is a very good striker he's a good professional kickboxer. He has a professional kickboxing background. He's a good striker. He has a really good jab, to be honest. One of the best jabs in this division with some good power. But, it sucks because we saw in his past few fights, his takedown defense is pretty bad. And honestly, his age, all around the damage he's taken in his career, is starting to catch up to him. He's not as durable. He's not as dangerous as he used to be. I still think he wins this fight. However, it's going to be a very, very razor close decision where I could see, 29-28 split decision. I could see Borshchev doing very, very well, getting dropped towards the end of the round and, losing the round because of that. 29-28 split decision. We got Borshchev. I think if this is prime versus prime, Borshchev wipes the floor with Tom Nolan, but he's getting old. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Nolan gets it done, but I think I'm just hoping my boy can pull it off, to be honest. Even though, like I said, he's getting old, all the wars is catching up to him. He's not the same guy as before, but 29-28, razor close decision win. Let's go down featherweight division. I believe this is the main event for these prelims. Jack Jenkins taking on Gabriel Santos. Jack Jenkins, he's a solid striker. He has good power, good takedown defense, and he has a good forward pressure heavy style, backing up his opponents to the cage. He's fairly well-rounded with, he has multiple ways of winning. It's not like he can just knock people out. He has multiple ways of winning. His takedown defense is probably his weakest part of the game, where Gabriel Santos he's an aggressive fighter who loves to move forward. He has some pretty fast and powerful strikes, which he does use to overwhelm his opponents and set up a takedown. Once he does get it to the ground, though, this dude has some nasty ground and pound, some dangerous submission threats. However, that cardio is a little bit questionable. That being said, I think the crowd is going to have a huge play in this fight. I think round 1, we're going to see a very aggressive Gabriel Santos constantly trying to get a takedown. I think he'll probably get Jack Jenkins down towards the end of round 1. Keep him there, ground and pound work. Round 2, probably a little bit of the same. Jack Jenkins gets taken down, but I think Jack can get back up to his feet, end up winning that round. Round 3, though, I think we're going to see a gassed out Gabriel Santos, and I think Jack Jenkins is going to win that round as well. 29-28, only losing the first round, Jack Jenkins. And like I said, I think the crowd's going to have a big play in this, because I think the crowd's going to be cheering on Jack Jenkins. They're going to be booing Santos, which is going to start, making him second guess, going for takedowns, stuff like that. But let's go into the main card now. Main card, welterweight division. Jake Matthews taking on Francisco Prado. Jake Matthews is a fairly well-rounded dude. He has some good wrestling, grappling, striking. He isn't afraid to mix things up. He's just fairly well-rounded. Nothing special, but nothing bad. He's decent. Prado, on the other hand, he has some powerful striking. He loves to do some big looping strikes. He has some nice head kicks, decent Muay Thai. His striking defense is also a little bit questionable, I'm not gonna lie. He keeps his head straight up in the air, which is very, very bad for this fight, considering you're fighting someone like a Jake Matthews who could put your lights out. He has decent grappling skills and, questionable fight IQ, because sometimes this dude just loves to throw power shot after power shot after power shot and not adjust mid-fight. And that's one of the biggest reasons I'm picking Jake Matthews. I just can't trust someone who doesn't have the best fight IQ to win fights. I think round 1 and 2 is going to be very competitive, but round 3, I think Jake Matthews is going to find the timing. I think Prado is going to be gassed as well. I think he's going to put away Prado after he's going for a big looping hook, after he's gassed for just throwing big looping hooks all fight long. Give me early round 3 KO Jake Matthews. Let's go down to that light heavyweight division. Jimmy Crute taking on Rodolfo Bellato. Jimmy Crute he's a solid wrestler who does have a good amount of takedowns, per fight. He's not afraid to mix things in. However, this dude can't hold down people to save his life. He also has some decent striking, nothing special, but the one thing that concerns me is this dude is coming back from retirement close to a year now. I don't know how serious this dude is taking it. I personally think he's just here because he ran out of money. That's me personally, where Rodolfo is a very heavy-handed grappler who will come forward. He'll throw nothing but bombs. He likes to make shit a scrap. I'm not gonna lie. He loves to have a barn burner type of fight, but he wants to ultimately get the fight to the ground where he can control you and land some nasty ground and pound. And he does also have some dangerous submissions. He can also be a little bit stiff and slow at times, though. I'm not gonna lie. At the end of the day, I don't know where Jimmy's mind is in this fight. I do think Rodolfo does get it done just because I think Jimmy's here for a cash grab at the end of the day. I'm going with second round submission, Rodolfo. Again, Jimmy's here for a paycheck. He retired 2 years ago. He's not even that good either. He's not UFC level. But with that being said, the light heavyweight division it's missing a lot of talent. So with that being said, let's go down to heavyweight. Justin Tafa taking on Tallison Teixeira. Justin Tafa, what does there need to be said about this dude? He is a very heavy-hitting striker. Some of the biggest power in heavyweight. Big power, good chin. He's fairly one-dimensional, though, because I don't think he has any takedown threats at all, where Teixeira, he's making his UFC debut. He's a giant. He's like 6'7", 6'8", something stupid like that. He was supposed to fight at UFC 310, but he got injured and had to pull out. Teixeira, he's decently sized. He's fairly athletic. He has good power. The one thing, there's two things that stand out to me. One, it's his UFC debut. And two, his record really isn't that great. Mainly because he hasn't fought anyone that notable. And all the people he's fought really aren't that good. And Tafa, he's just a staple in heavyweight. But I don't know. I hate picking people who are making their UFC debut because I can't trust them. I'm going to have to pick Teixeira here. He's just all around. He should all around be he's more well-rounded than Justin Tafa for sure. The one thing is this dude a fraud or not? We won't know until the actual day comes and they're fighting. I'm going round 2 TKO for Teixeira. Catches Tafa, puts him down. I think he's better than Justin Tafa, but I could just as easily see Justin Tafa KOing this dude. A very tricky one to predict, I'm not gonna lie. Let's go into this co-main event now. Women's strawweight division. We got that title on the line. And we got Weili Zhang taking on Tatiana Suarez. A fight that I've been wanting for a long ass time. And I've been saying it. Tatiana Suarez is the girl to beat Weili. Now, Weili is a very well-rounded fighter with some good power in her hands. Good takedown defense, good power in her hands, good takedowns, good scrambles, good ground control, all that stuff. But the biggest hole, the worst part of her game is 100% her takedown defense. It's 100% the worst part of her game, where Tatiana Suarez has some of the best wrestling skills in this strawweight division, and her striking, her striking isn't anything special, but the biggest thing that I'm worried about is extremely inactive. She's been battling a lot of serious injuries, very, very inactive. However, I've been saying this forever now. Okay, on paper, Weili should win this one, but I don't know, I've been saying it. I have a gut feeling that Weili is going to have absolutely zero respect for Tatiana Suarez. I think Weili is going to bully her round 1. I think round 2, maybe a little bit more competitive. I think Tatiana Suarez gets Weili down in round 2. Holds her down there, does some work on the ground, tries for a submission, doesn't get it. Round 3 happens. Weili wants her get back. She's going to let her ego get ahead of her. She's going to try to shoot and get a takedown on Suarez. Suarez is catching that neck. Early third round, guillotine submission win. Mark that down. Put the house on that shit because it's happening. Let's go down to the middleweight division. DDP taking on Sean Strickland, the rematch. One of the closest fights we've had in the middleweight division in a long ass time. And to be honest, this is I honestly think it's going to play out exactly how the first fight happened, to be honest. Not exactly, but it's going to be practically the exact same fight. Dricus do we even have to go over these guys? DDP, he's like a very sloppy fighter. Some of the people say he's like one of the worst fighters style-wise. but it's been working out for him. You know, he swings wildly. He relies on his strength, his cardio, and his power. It's been working out for him. He has a hard style to fight. I'm not gonna lie. Where Sean Strickland has some of the best defense in the middleweight division. He has the jabs, the teeps. He hides behind that Philly shell, waiting for his opponent to come to him. However, this fight I think is going to take it to DDP, and I think it's going to be a razor close fight again. I think it's going to be very similar to the first fight. This is how I have it though. Round 1, Sean Strickland wins that round. Round 2, it could be either or. Round 2 is going to be a stupidly competitive round. I guarantee we're going to see some of the judges split it. You know, some for DDP, some for Strickland. Round 3, DDP gets that round. Round 4, Sean gets that round. Round 5, DDP gets that round. Split decision win for Dricus du Plessis. That second round being the most important round. But I think it's going to be exactly how the first fight happened. Very small, minor adjustments though. But yeah, razor close split decision. Dricus du Plessis gets it done. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to set up Sean versus Izzy for the rematch. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do that shit. But that's what I have. Let me know in the comments below, what fight on here are you most excited for? And yeah, stay tuned because I'm going to have my rare locks of UFC 312 coming out fairly soon here in a few days. Let me know, is there any rare locks that you guys think is 100% going to happen? Maybe I'll include them in the intro or the outro of that video. With that being said, thank you for watching to the end of the video. There's really not that much else left to say except for I will see you guys in my next video.